Hi guys, we're back on the FG today. We've got a starter motor problem and I think we're going to have to just try and get this off. So Henry's just going to disconnect. Just take the leads off that battery before I go down there playing with that, Henry. Thanks. Once we get the battery disconnected, we'll go and have a look at this starter. Now I'm not sure whether the easiest way is to go in from the bottom. Oops. There it is. From the bottom or from the top. I think it's fairly easy to go in from here. We've got this jacked, so we're not going to have it collapse on top of our heads. I'll see if we can get onto that, Henry. I don't know what, probably a 10 mil, start with a 10 and we'll see if that's the right size. There's a 10 mil right there. That comes off fairly easy. Now, I've got to get that high tension lead off too. I think that's got a 10 mil on it as well. And the bad one's going to be the other mounting bolt. So that's the first mounting bolt. That's easy. I've got that nice and easily done. Pull this. I think that lead comes off there. That's pretty easy. I don't know if you can see that. My big fat hands are in the way. That's that lead there. That's off. This one here's, I think, got a 12. Give me a 12 or a 13, Henry, I think, for the back of this little solenoid where the...
That's better?
I don't know. I can't even see it at the moment. Just give me a ring spanner for now and I'll see if I can get onto it. So follow this lead up. That comes off. Just pull that down. And then I think... Just pass me that ring spanner, Henry. I don't know what size it is, to be honest with you. Is that a 13 or a 12? Yeah, give me the 13. Yeah. What was that? Don't drop that car on my head while you're doing that. All right. That's got that loose. Just take that nut off the end. I might have to get you to come in from the top and try and identify where that other mounting bolt is. Alright, that other bolt seems to be impossible from the bottom, at least with hands my size. I just cannot get them in there. So we're going to take just as much of this off as we can and see if we can go in from the top. I don't know how much we've got to take off though. Alright, so lift that piece out now, Henry. I don't think I'm going to get my hands down there either. I wonder how hard. That just does not look like a good idea to pull all that apart. Okay, work out what we're doing here. Right, we think that's going to be a major nightmare to take that off. But if we can get the airbox out, I might be able to get my arm and elbow in such a position to get underneath there to get it. So we're going to give that a go. Just have to unclip from that front piece, I think. Now, I might be able to get my arm down there. Let's give that a go. Alright, Henry's been able to get somehow onto the starter motor and crack that bolt, so we've nearly got it off. Mind you, this is not an easy job. And then, after only a couple of minutes of turning that, this will just pop off like that. How easy was that? And the light will hit you in the head, and that's all out. Righto. 60 hours of work, we got it off. Right, we're going to test it now. Alright guys, you saw us get this out last night. We're going to do a quick little test of the starter motor and solenoid. So, black negative, that's earth out to the body of the starter motor. We want to see, I want to be able to see that down there, Henry, at some stage. If I connect to that positive there, it should do nothing until I connect this little wire here. So if everything's working, oh, that wire's getting hot. Was that engaging? I just, like, that works. Why would I? What did you say? You watched the video tube and the guy, YouTube video, and the guy got it working when he got it out of the car, but he still replaced it.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, but he said it worked when he replaced it.
Well, did you want to buy a new one and put a new one in, or put that one back in? The problem is, if you put that one back in, it may, I don't know if it's sticking or playing up. Squirt WD-40 down it and stick it back in. Who knows? I don't know enough about these things. What are your plans? Don't know?
I don't know. Do you want to test it down there?
What do you mean?
The cable to it.
Well, check the voltages. Yeah, okay, but that means you're going to have to put this back on. And I'm going to have to squeeze back. So if you want to put the battery cables on, I'll get under there with a multimeter and see what I can get. You'll need to turn the ignition on, and I'll see if you get any start voltage.
Yep.
Okay, Henry's just reconnecting the battery. I'm gonna, have you got your car keys? I'll get you to, when I tell you, turn the ignition on, and I'll see what voltage is coming through that starter line. Right, so I've got the multimeter precariously started here, connected to the positive lead here. So Henry, just turn the ignition on to the accessories first. Okay, what happens if you try and start it? Now try and unstart it. Yeah. I don't know. I've got 12 volts across this already. So is it completely off?
Yeah. Well, I read that on one of the things it always has power. And then on one of them it only has power when you start.
I don't know. I've got 12 volts, even It must, so there must be 12 volts, and that's just the solenoid that gets, obviously, okay, I know what I'm doing now. Where's that little solenoid clip? Can you bring me the camera? I think it's that one.
What do you want?
Nah, I was going to say the light. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hang on. I need... Alright, I've just run the multimeter to that little lead, not the big high tension lead, but to the little lead. That is the solenoid starter, and I've got no voltage there. So, this could have all been for nothing, and it could be just either a fuse or some other electrical problem getting power to the solenoid. Oh, well, makes a good video. Hi guys, we've got the fuse box off. We're after the starter fuse, which seems to be this one here. And that sits in this little bank of fuses, which seems to pull out as a single unit. And Google says you can't get that out unless you take the entire fuse box out. So this is probably going to be just as difficult as getting the starter motor out. We'll work it out and we'll come back.
Well, that's out.
Right, we're just trying to get that little screw out there. Right, can you take that yellow wire? I don't know if it's going to pull back, that's all. Now there's that. You reckon that comes out now naturally, do you?
Maybe.
Okay, that's fine. I thought that was going to pull back. Alright, just look. So we got that piece out, and none of them are broken. Righto, I reckon shove the starter motor in and we know the fuse. Well, that's the fuse, unless there's another fuse. But they're all fine, and that's meant to be the starter fuse, one of those. Which one is it? The second one.
The third one.
Third one from the left. Well, that's definitely fine, isn't it?
Actually, no, this one.
Right. Okay, let's put all this back together. We'll get that starter motor back in. We'll work out what the other reason for not having power there might be. All right, we're about to do a start-up, but for those interested, if you've got someone under the car, this is probably the easiest way to get that top bolt. We had just a 1/4 inch drive, 10mm socket coming in over the top, someone underneath guiding, and someone on the top threading. It's not what I would call easy, but that's how we did it. So, okay, Henry, I don't know if this is going to work because we haven't changed anything other than maybe loosened up that starter. Try and start. What did we do? We just pulled it off and put it back on again. Righto, people, if you want to fix a starter motor, it's only a 15-day job. You pull it off, you put it back on again. Righto, we'll get that air induction stuff on. Just doing a final check. We've got it off the stand, starter up. Perfect. Well, I have no idea why that wasn't starting before. As I say, we've pulled the starter off. We have not done a single thing to it. And we checked that fuse thinking that might have been a problem. Maybe it just needed a good bit of a shake. We did hit it with a hammer before even starting, seeing if that would be a problem, but it wasn't. So anyway, back on the road, Henry. Good. Now to turn our minds back to that Ducati